So we have an update to the bricks and minifigs situation. It's not a good one. I think that this is the worst, one of the worst points, the lowest points of this situation, definitely. So Ben put out a video, quick video, a final message.
Episode 3.
If you saw my community post, I was thinking about not doing a video on this, but I definitely have to.
Is finally finished after crazy all-nighters and basically destroying my health.
So he's finished part 3 of the situation, but obviously if you have put your money and gone to Ben's Patreon, it's not there.
But I can't post it or I will go to jail. And not only that, I will also immediately lose my lawsuit of $300,000, and the GoFundMe we made for Brian will go straight to this mystery company that I am no longer allowed to talk about.
No.
They sent court papers to my email.
Yep, Ben has been served. So until the court hear his side of the story, which we'll get to why he's not allowed and what bricks and minifigs have said to the courts, which I think is complete bollocks because, well, no one would be this stupid in this situation. No one would be, aside from bricks and minifigs, who are the most stupid in this situation. So yeah, he has been served. So he can't talk about this situation. He can't mention bricks and minifigs. That's why he keeps on referring to it as a mysterious company. Now, if there's one thing I do not like in this world, one of the many things I don't like in this world, and that is censorship. I can't fucking stand censorship, and they have they've silenced Reckless Ben, bricks and minifigs. That is what they have done, and that is what this boils down to. And again, not a good look for bricks and minifigs. It is not. I said this countless times in my the 2 live streams that I've done on this situation. I do not understand why bricks and minifigs continue to, dig their hole, make their hole bigger, or bury their head in the sand. Well, not exactly burying their head in the sand, but continue to make this hole like this hole is fucking massive right now. It's going to the centre of the earth at this point. I do not understand how it's gotten to this point where they are censoring a YouTuber for covering this situation, for investigating this situation. I do not understand how it's gotten to this point. It did not need to get to this point. It's all because a company seemingly is going to miss 100k, 200k, whatever number you think Brian Mansell and his family are owed. It did not need to get to this point, but because a company is so fixated on losing a small amount of money to them, like that's like pennies to them. I do not understand it. I do not understand it because all bricks and minifigs had to do was, well, allegedly they are trying to do it now, is just sit down with Brian Mansell and his family and just try and sort this out and pay whatever he is owed left. That's all that needed to happen at the beginning of this situation, but it never got to that point, and it's infuriating. Censorship is infuriating. It is so infuriating.
Which I guess
I suppose I also better address the fact that how come Ben had to go to Josh and try and serve him court papers, of which Josh kept on refusing them, even though they were even at a point where it was handed to a police officer, which a police officer should have just left him there. But I've already covered that in most live streams, which you all should have seen, by the way. How come they're allowed to? How come bricks and minifigs are allowed to do it through email? Lawful Masses, with Leonard Finch, I think it's Finch, did a small little update after obviously Ben had been served and he announced he'd been served. It just goes down to the fact that obviously Ben is in another country at the minute. He's in Mexico, so there's no way for him to be served in person. So the bricks and minifigs obviously applied to the court and say, can we serve him another way? Which is what we've done. but they still haven't heard out Ben's side of the story, which I do think is very unfair.
Approved for them that this was a valid form of service, and so now that I'm officially served,
because I'm sure if Ben was allowed to do his court case and serve papers through email, he would have done, because it's just easier.
I cannot even mention this company or I will be in jail and everything. Normally I would be like, screw the big guy telling me what to do. I'm going to do what's morally right. But
this situation has just gotten serious. So I don't blame Ben for not, saying, fuck this lawsuit. I'm going to upload it anyway, because it's gotten serious. Because he'll go to jail. However much money that GoFundMe made, last time I checked, it was just below 400k. Bricks and Minifigs would get that, so they would really live up to a mantra of stealing from old people. That company that Ben made for his part 1 to try and get the money and the Lego back. Come on,
in this situation.
So I do understand Ben's point of view. Does it suck? Yes, it absolutely does. But it's gotten super serious for him.
If I do that, then all my friends get screwed with this lawsuit, and we lose all the GoFundMe money we raised, immediately.
Of which I don't know if I mentioned it. The GoFundMe is gone. The GoFundMe's been taken down. I don't know what's going to happen to however much was put towards the GoFundMe. I don't know what's going to happen to it. I imagine it would just get refunded to everyone if it doesn't come back up. I would imagine.
I am no longer allowed to even mention this mystery company. My personal opinion is that this is unfair because this order was put on me because this company was telling me.
Well, no. Well, I'll let Ben.
Court that I was making bomb threats. I was planning on murdering the manager and employees. Which
now, I don't agree with everything Ben has done in this situation, because there are some things where it's just that doesn't exactly help. But overall, Ben has definitely helped out in this situation, because he has brought this all to light, and it has united the internet in a way I haven't seen in a very, very long time. And the court of public opinion is heavily, heavily, heavily against Bricks and Minifigs. If I was lived in the US and there was a Bricks and Minifigs near where I lived, I would stop going. I would not go there anymore. I know a lot of people have said that. I would not go. Don't support Bricks and Minifigs in the situation. Hit them where it hurts most. The wallet. You always hit companies with what they care about the most. You hit them in the wallet. But again, Bricks and Minifigs, they just continue to make this worse for themselves. I don't know if they've just reached a point where it's just well, we're not going to save our reputation, so we might as well just go full shaft in and just fucking reckless Ben as much as possible. I don't know if if I was in that position that Bricks and Minifigs are, I would probably do that, because there is no point in saving their reputation anymore. There is just not. And I feel for every other Bricks and Minifigs store that is not a part of this situation, because they are getting screwed over as well. Because, in the live stream, and CoffeeZilla's investigating this now, we've seen that, we've just got vigilantes going into Bricks and Minifigs and confronting, the managers and the staff who have nothing to do with this situation. If this was all because of one fucking store and corporate, it was only one store and corporate that are responsible for this. Nobody else associated with Bricks and Minifigs. I do really feel bad for them, because it's just got nothing to do with them. And the fact Ben's not that stupid to make. No one's that stupid to make bomb threats and game-ending threats to, employees at the store. No one is that stupid in this situation, because it does not look good. If Reckless Ben did that, which I don't think he did, I would not imagine him doing that, because that would just make it so much worse for him. No one is that stupid. And There's no record of him doing it, and he says so. So where have these bomb and game-ending threats come from? I would like to know.
Obviously, I didn't do, and you can see that in the footage. The only problem is I was not given a chance to share my side. The court just heard their perspective.
And that's another problem. The court hasn't heard out Ben's side, which I do believe they can, but he will be allowed to do, Ben, but I don't know when that's going to be.
Not mine. So because I wasn't able to share my side, I'm now no longer allowed to talk about them, and looks like this might be it.
So yeah, that is Racker Ben's update video. It is not good. It's not good for him. It just makes, Bricks and Minifigs' reputation go even further down the toilet with a massive layer of shit. Have Bricks and Minifigs not heard, or at least researched the Streisand effect, where, you silence another party, let's just call it censorship, when you censor something, you bring more attention to it. So that's why I'm talking about this. That is why Penguin Zero made another video on this. Everyone is going to be talking about this because they have silenced and censored Reckless Ben, the main investigator for this situation. It is not a good look, and it would be highly beneficial for Bricks and Minifigs to drop this lawsuit, but I don't think they will, because I think they've gone to the point where I think they know that their reputation is unsalvageable, so they are just going to try and get Reckless Ben for every penny that they can get out of him, and also that GoFundMe, because they are just absolute fucking assholes, Bricks and Minifigs. But if they somehow do survive this reputation, I was going to say hit, this is just like an assassination of their reputation. The CEO needs to go, Alan McNeff, because he's not making this situation better either, because he just comes across as, it doesn't help, as a mustache-twirling cartoon villain, and it doesn't help that he has a villain-like twirling mustache. Does not help the situation at all. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Bricks and Minifigs, I actually, no. I was going to say make everything right. You are done. You are finished as a company. Bricks and Minifigs. Reckless Ben, I feel sorry for you. It is a shame. It is a crime. That's probably not the right word. It is devastating. I'll take that crime statement back. It is so annoying that he cannot post part 3 and just bring more. Still, everyone needs to talk about this. YouTubers, streamers, because this situation cannot be ignored anymore. It just cannot be ignored anymore. So if you like this video, feel free to like it, dislike if you disliked it. If you like this video, check out some other content on this channel. And if you like my other content, turn that red subscribe button to grey, and I shall see you all in the next one with hopefully a bit more positivity. So goodbye.